October Breast Cancer Awareness Month as we think pink, and we're at the ProMedica Coldwater Regional Hospital's Cancer Center. BarbHendricks, registered nurse, obviously on a day-to-day basis, that's what you're involved with. It becomes, obviously, for a family who goes through this, a major time, traumatic time, and you have the treatments here for them, but obviously you would love for people to know ahead of time how to maybe prevent or at least catch things early. We talk about mammograms, and the numbers have shifted a little bit on how early someone should get a mammogram. What's the recommendation now on women to get mammograms?
At this point in time, American Cancer Society is recommending at a baseline of 45, and then you have them annually at 50 and onward.
Okay. People sometimes, I've heard from women, nervous about getting a mammogram for a couple of reasons. One, not necessarily comfortable to do, right?
No, they're more comfortable than they used to be, and that's simply because of technology. The technology is just amazing compared to what we used to be even 10, 20 years ago. So that is a plus, that it's not as uncomfortable because of the technology that we have, the machines that we have. They're much more sensitive, so they see things better than we did. And we do know the earlier a person is diagnosed, the more options they have for treatment. And no one likes that diagnosis, but we do know that if you find it early, then your treatment options are much greater than if you find it later.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other piece I think would be, is a psychological piece of it, of I don't want to know kind of thing, and you have sometimes break down that barrier too, right?
It really is. It's scary, and the no one likes to hear that diagnosis at all. But we do want to know, and so it can be treated. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. So it's just something that no one likes to go through. It's kind of like renewing every year the fact that, oh, this might happen to me. We do know genetically there's a lot of people that we're finding that have a predisposition to that. And then it changes the story dramatically if you know you have a family member that's been diagnosed.
Outside of the mammograms, what else should women be doing as far as examinations go?
Breast self-exam every month. Know your body. Know what your normal is, and so you know what your abnormal is. And even though you have a mammogram every year, that's an isolated event. But if you know your body and you're examining your body every month, then you know what's not normal, and then somebody can take the appropriate steps.
Yeah, and then again, there's just, I think, a psychological piece of that too, of like, oh, it's nothing. But if someone finds something, right away you should get to the doctor,
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. It might be nothing, and most of them are nothing, but it's something that you really need to take a look at pretty quickly and have a professional examine your breast, find out exactly what you're feeling, what's not normal, and then take the appropriate steps as finding out what you need to know about what that spot actually is.
Okay. So again, the age recommendations are what?
Well, breast self-exams should happen when you're young in your life. It should happen when you're in your teenage years, so that you know what those breasts feel like, and that you can say, yes, this is my normal, but as we get older, the chances of breast cancer do increase, and so that's when it gets to be very, very important. So you know what your normal is, and you do your mammograms, and you see your physician. You should see a physician at least once a year so they can examine your breast too. Sometimes they find things that we don't, and then you can get the appropriate treatment as far as what needs to be for what you're finding.
And real quick, there are more than one type of mammogram. There are other things for dense breast as well, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's definitely different kinds of testing that can be done. Ultrasound testing can be done so that we actually know what is, you're actually looking at a dense breast. A mammogram is difficult to see. It can mask some things because the breast is dense. And it used to be we didn't really know what to do about that, but now they've changed the fact that we do have different technology to be able to look at a dense breast and see it clearer.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be breast cancer, it used to be that, I would say death sentence, but it almost was, that there was no hope. Now there is hope.
Oh, absolutely. Treatments have changed dramatically. There are many, many more options that we have available. And that's what we like to tell people, is that the earlier you find that thing, the more options you do have. And when you have that diagnosis, you want to have those options available to you.
And more information, obviously, at ProMedica Coldwater Regional Hospital's Cancer Center. BarbHendricks, registered nurse with us as we think pink during the month of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.